weird, I can't switch weapons. Strange. Oh, I can. It just doesn't show it. Alright.
We were just getting to the best part.
I didn't know you were into that kind of thing.
So, are we getting paid for this?
Don't worry. I'll pay you when we get back.
Alright. Then let's blow this joint.
Well, at least someone knows how to get the girl.
Yeah. Hey!
Yeah, Lady was a lot of fun. I still can't wrap my head around her gameplay mechanics the way I want to. Every time I get into a fight or a boss, I don't know what I should go with, whereas when I'm playing with Nero or Dante, I know exactly the kind of string of attacks that I want to do. But with Lady, it's almost like because everything's super effective, right? You charge her handguns to level 3, her shotgun to level 3, you charge her a clean hand to level 3, it all does almost broken levels of damage. But it's just, she has a lot of recovery to her attacks, and she's not as cancelable as the other characters, or as much as it would seem. She commits to a lot of stuff. So, if you can charge those attacks up, she's great for Legendary Dark Knight, because those attacks will just absolutely destroy crowds, as well as causing large amount of damage. But what saves her is her burst attack, her quote-unquote devil trigger. That absolutely saves her, because if not, LDK would be close to, obviously not impossible. There's far better players than I am, but honestly, it would be frustrating, because particularly in the first few hours of the game, when you don't have Lady's charged weapons, her skill set leveled up, so you're really just, you just have that burst attack to really help you out. And if it wasn't for that, I think Lady would be honestly not as fun as she would be. That her double trigger usage is really cool. When I first saw it in previews, I thought that it was kind of OP, but it makes a lot of sense. Honestly, like I said, I don't really like telling people how to play games, but I think people who are new to DMC4 should play Dante Nero on Devil Hunter, Virgil on Son of Sparta, and Lady and Trish on Legendary Dark Knight in that order. Simply because Legendary Dark Knight also remixes the enemies up, so it keeps things fresh. And it just doesn't throw more enemies at you. It keeps, it mixes things up from the normal campaign. So that's good. And also, I think these characters are well designed for crowd control. And finally, these characters, Lady and Trish, are really at their best when you kind of unlock their skill set, and because orbs and proud souls carry over character to character, by the time you get to them on your third playthrough, you'll be able to purchase everything all at once. So that's great. And so you're not so much concerned with buying stuff, buying skill sets. You're just then concerned with mastering the character. And I think that's the problem I had. I only got all the major moves, I think, for Lady by the time I was at like mission 9. And playing in Legendary Dark Knight, I'm getting tons of Proud Souls and Orbs, and it still took me like 9 missions to purchase all the main key move sets for Lady that I wanted. So I didn't really get that much opportunity to kind of settle in and figure out, what's good with her or not. But in a lot of ways, I guess that's what makes DMC4 DMC4. It's a game that you just don't play once, and honestly, it's a game you just don't play 2 or 3 times. You really invest in it on several playthroughs, and I think each time you replay and you get better and better, I think that's when DMC4, it's a true color shine, because it's that level of mastery that you give a character is almost on a fighting game level, right? You just don't pick a character in a fighting game and clear arcade mode once and say, oh, okay, that's the game. No, you invest in it, and you're returned with the fact that the gameplay you see on screen is what you're doing, and that's really satisfying. Okay, so I finished Lady and Trish's campaign. I think DMC4 is great. Obviously, some of the missions are just lame. Some of the puzzles are just lame. I think this game was in dire need of an editor to flat out delete shit. There are some missions that should not exist, right? And instead of, particularly in the second half, and I'm not like saying they should just, cut content back wholesale, but some of Dante's missions and Trish's missions, they should just have replaced it with almost like a Bloody Palace gauntlet, and instead of saying, okay, mission 16 exists, have mission 16 be, where Dante goes up like 4 or 5 floors of Bloody Palace, but try to incorporate it into the story, and that's it, right? Stop. The developers, I think, were in an identity crisis. They're like, okay, wait, should we have a castle? Should we have this? Should we have that? And I think this game would have been better if they realized that their best strength is its combat system. So just give players combat, right? But instead, we have to solve some of these, puzzles, or escape from an exploding building under a time limit, or go through a level when there's poison going on, and that's just kind of stupid, And I think that's unfortunate, because in Devil May Cry 3, they realized this. They realized that, they do incredible character combat, and they gave us that. There was very little downtime. In DMC4, between, flipping dice and punching gyro blades all over the place, I kind of think the developers, had some conflict about the direction that they wanted to go. Ultimately, though, the fact that this is an action game and it's got one of the best combat systems ever in a character action game basically saved this game's face value. And the fact that it's $25, and you get 5 playable characters, even if you don't like the entire campaign, as it kind of loses steam towards the last quarter, the value proposition is definitely there. So if you want to call this my review, then I'm giving this game my complete, recommendation without any hesitation. I think it's a good game for everyone. If you're not good at action games, you can always play the game on automatic mode, or you can just mash buttons and see cool shit. I don't recommend that mode, but it's there. So I think this game appeals to newcomers and veterans alike. Money well spent. All right, that's it. Let me know what you think about this game too. I'm kind of curious, and I hope this game does well, because I want to Devil May Cry 5.